today's event is actually the fourth one since we started to do Kwani at Blankets. So it's actually called Kwani at Blankets and Wine. So the idea is to bring together people who love literature and people who like music into one space and sort of reach both audiences at the same time. So one of the segments that we have on Kwani at Blankets is Kwani Mahewa. Today's discussion on Mahewa will be about the music of protest. So how are these writers able to make music that's catchy but has a critical message behind it?
So like this thing where I'm saying how people are discriminated against, like how people judge you for how you dress,
okay,
which school you went, what tribe you are, your skin color. You know, everyone wants to be team light skin nowadays. So the dark skin move aside, you know what I mean? And it's things I see in the papers daily, and you just get so angry sometimes.
Okay.
Unarusha mawe, unatafuta haki yako, sio lazima ulete zogo ndio upate haki yako, sababu utalala njaa, mfaidi wa bwenyenye na bado amekukanganya, ukikubalia bwerere, ona hauna kazi na hauna mali.
What about you, Mandela? Do you have something that you've written that comes from this kind of place of deep protest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this song called Sio Lazima, it means you don't have to. And there's a lot of things you don't have to do to become what you are or what you want to be. Ndio eti tuwe sawa na sio lazima useme oh, ndio eti usikike, sio lazima. Yeah. Like you don't have to. Yeah, only when you're here we can jam like this.
The other segment that we have on Kwani at Blankets and Wine is emerging voices, where we give a platform to young people who are aspiring writers, emerging writers. So this particular event today will feature two young writers we sponsored to go to the Farafina workshop in Nigeria that's run by Chimamanda and Binyavanga Negosa.
The corners of my lips tag upwards. I could see him in a dark hall, eyes critically peering out of window panes at large flashing images, right hand caressing goatee, a happy slave. The former pharmacist likes a regular dose of The New Yorker. He is the magazine's most die-hard fan in Nigeria. Or so he'd like to believe.
They walked and talked, and when she gazed up into his brown eyes, he said, "But I am married." He walked out of her workshop as though the ground was disintegrating beneath him, and that was when she decided to build herself the perfect man. A tall man.
The crowd we have at the Kwani stand is excellent. They're very supportive. I dropped my phone, spilled my drink, a bit nervous. And they were like, took it in good stride and good humor. Yeah, and I, read my work and everyone was very supportive and nice and cheered me on. First time coming for Blankets and Wine. First time attending a Kwani event at Blankets and Wine. And I'm just loving the crowd, loving the feeling, the ambience, it's great.
And then the voice would make the choo-choo sound of a train and the clouds would close again. The train's shrieking whistle fading into ksh. You are now listening to ksh. And the song is ksh. The artist ksh. As the train sounds faded, I would close my eyes tight and travel to lands I had only heard of in my geography class. I would soar over the clouds and find myself riding the train from Beira, the haunting voice following me from behind.
And then the final segment is actually very interesting in that it's readings, dramatized readings. So we've picked people who are thespians or performance artists to read from old Kwani back issues.
And the sea would turn from red to rusty. Eventually, Father Yasin would wake up one morning and find the algae gone altogether, the sea blue-green again. That was how droughts ended here, when you least expected, out of the blue. You simply awoke one morning to the sound of rainfall. The grass, like it always did, would have budded overnight. And the women who always showed up at sunrise for maize rations, indeed, who were already at the gates, would show up as usual. But with their long hair wet, their clothes dripping wet, their faces already nourished. I performed Lily Mabura's story, How Shall We Kill the Bishop? It's a beautiful, beautiful story, and we performed it with Yellow Light Machine. So really, today the stories were brought alive by performance, by audience interaction, by music, and it just gives a whole new way of experiencing a story when you listen to it, when you feel it through the music, through the action, through the character. So I hope to see more of that.
That was when Kungu saw the girl in the mirrors. She sat in a corner, long, thin neck, pinched, haughty features, the cry of boredom and a kind of old wisdom. She suddenly laughed at something that was said by one of the customers. A flash of pinkness from inside her mouth was that of a newborn baby. Her face, ageless. Something stirred in Kungu that just opened it up to this world full of mirrors. But as he turned to the floor, he noticed that everyone's eyes was glued to the TV screen. When Kungu squinted, he made out a strange sight on the TV screen. What? An elephant was trying to hump a rhino. Wow.
There was a time in the world being an artist was the biggest thing, was the ultimate. Like everyone was an artist, next to everyone. And I really hope that with events like Blankets and Wine and with a lot more projects, the writers from Kwani, hopefully art will just become really, really huge, because art in Africa, I feel, is still at a very basic level. But it can get better, and right now the young people, especially the young ones, they're more aggressive about their art, and that I think is going to be such a big thing for Kenya. In the next 10, 15 years, art in Kenya is going to be respected. And we'll look back on days like this and say, we're glad that we did this now.